Modern adulting. Why are so many adults so poor at adulting? Have you ever looked around and wondered, how are so many people old enough to have a mortgage, a management title, and access to the internet and banking systems, yet still struggle with basic adulting? You're not alone, but the answer may be more complicated and more interesting than it first appears. Many of these skills required for modern adulting were never formally taught. The external environment relied on parents to teach their children, and the parents relied on external systems like schools and communities and churches to teach their little ones. Think about it. Most people received years of education in subjects like math, science, and history. Far fewer received structured instruction in managing emotions, navigating conflict, setting boundaries, financial decision making, career adaptability, stress management, critical thinking skills, healthy communication, and relationship skills. Then adulthood arrives and society essentially says, good luck, and try not to set anything important on fire. Adding to the challenge, today's adults are navigating a world that is changing faster than previous generations ever experienced. Technology evolves, jobs transform, social norms shift, information arrives non-stop. The rules keep changing while the game is still being played. The game of life. Neuroscience tells us that our brains are works in progress throughout much of adulthood. Skills such as emotional regulation, long-term planning, impulse control, perspective taking, and adaptability continue to develop through experiences and through practice. Adulting, as it turns out, is not a destination, but more of a lifelong learning process. The problem is that many people assume adulthood should automatically produce wisdom, or even that physical adult body should automatically produce wisdom. Unfortunately, birthdays are excellent at measuring years gone by. They are far less reliable at measuring maturity, which explains why some adults can successfully manage multi-million-dollar budgets, but still create workplace drama worthy of a middle school lunch table. Here's the good news. Adulting is a skill set, not a personality trait. Skills can be learned, therefore, adulting can be learned. Isn't that great? You can improve it, you can practice it, you can refine it. The most effective adults aren't the ones who have everything figured out. They're they're the ones who remain curious enough to keep learning, relearning, and even unlearning. Because real adulting isn't about pretending that you have all the answers. It's about taking responsibility for finding better ones. And perhaps remembering that growth does not stop when school ends. That's when the most important lessons often begin. The takeaway today from me is this: so many adults struggle with adulting, not because they're incapable, but because the skills required for modern life are complex. They're constantly evolving and rarely taught directly. So, therefore, adulting is not an achievement, it's a practice. So, please keep practicing. Thank you.